Yo, it's Carcat. Today we're going over the single most effective technique you can use to improve that probably over 90% of people are not doing. VOD reviewing. I'm not exaggerating, VOD reviewing is so OP, but barely anyone does it, and it's hard to blame them. It's like eating your veggies, or going to the gym, or doing your chores. You know it's good for you, but it's kind of a pain in the ass. Not just that, but it forces you to do the one thing that terrifies most people. Take a hard look in the mirror and figure out what you did wrong. I know every single person watching this video has seen other people blame everyone but themselves, and has likely done the same from time to time.
You're right. It's not my fault. It's your fault!
But today, we're moving away from that and min-maxing self-improvement. Quick plug, we do free live VOD reviews on stream all the time, so follow the Twitch if you want some personalized help. Alright, let's do it. Starting from absolute scratch, VOD reviewing is just the process of watching your match replays to figure out how you can play better. It can be a tedious process and requires you to set aside your ego in a major way, but it also is genuinely the fastest way to improve. It's important to note, VOD reviewing is a skill in and of itself, one that you have to improve at, and the better you get, the more effective it'll be. At the start, you should focus on targeting small, simple mistakes, but as you get better at it, you can begin thinking about how to apply more complex concepts into your gameplay. If you can get a better player to VOD review with you, even better. But I'm not just going to talk to you about it. Right now, we're going to practice on one of my recent games together, so I can show you what I mean. First things first, pick a game you want to review. The ideal criteria you're looking for here are a loss that was close in ranked. Then you're ready to get into it. Remember that if the process is still new to you, focus on simple mistakes that are easy to identify. In my opinion, the best starting point is watching the replay and focusing on every single one of your deaths. Dial in on your deaths and figure out 1, why you died, and 2, what you might have been able to do differently to avoid dying and get value for your team. Sometimes the death may have seemed inevitable, but do your best to identify any improvements or adjustments you could have made with the information you had or could have had. In this case, I took an engage on the backline that I thought was fine, but I end up instantly dying. My main mistake was not realizing that based on where my teammates were positioned, this engage was actually psychotic. My front line had not yet pushed up, and my backline was miles away. If I had just been a bit more patient and waited until this started happening, it might have been a very different story. Let's take a look at another. Here the issue is simpler. It's mostly mechanical. I whiff a dash on Mantis that would have given me a reset and allowed me to continue dealing damage or escape. Do this with every single one of your deaths, and you're already on your way. Then once you feel ready to get more into the weeds, start looking at other common places where mistakes are made. How are you positioned? Should you have taken a better off angle, taken high ground? Where was your team positioned? Here's a slightly different example. The enemy team is about to cap the objective, and I'm alive to contest. My teammates are also on the way, but if my strange is going to touch, I have to stall for as long as I can to give him time to get there. What do I do instead? Jump the gun on my positioning, get caught out by Spider-Man, and die, allowing them to cap the point. What I really needed to do was more carefully play my life, touch last second, and use my mechanics to stall on point. Be asking all these questions to yourself, but keep in mind, it's not your job to immediately know the objectively correct answer. What you should be trying to do is come up with potential solutions that you can implement in future games. Remember, VOD reviews are a diagnostic tool, so whether your mechanics are sloppy, your positioning is bad, you go on autopilot too much, you're unaware of your team and the overall game state, the ultimate goal is to identify your bad habits and pick 1 or 2 that you're going to work on next. This is crucial because you can't effectively work on several things at once. For each VOD you review, pick 1 or 2 key things to fix and make that your focus for the next game, next season, next week, however long you want. Let's finish off by answering the question, how often should I VOD review? Generally, any amount of VOD reviewing is significantly better than none, and you will get better the more often you do it. But keep in mind there are diminishing returns. Once you've identified the things you need to practice next, you should put away the game tape and hop back into ranked. Then when you feel like you hit another wall, that's your cue to start watching your games again. If you do this on top of all the things I mentioned in the How to Rank Up guide, you will definitely surprise yourself with how high you can climb. Good luck!